Blair. Did Cassie or Mel call from Canton? Did they make it there, and was Dorian there?
No, I haven't heard a thing.
Oh. I just pray that Dorian is all right.
Yeah, me too.
So, how about some breakfast?
No, thank you. I already ate.
Oh, look at these chocolate croissants. You know, I know that this means an extra half hour at the gym, but they are just so good.
So, have you heard from Ian?
Why? Did you have one of these? So good.
Look. Might as well get to the point. Blair, you're gonna hear this eventually anyway, so you might as well hear it from me. And I know you're gonna most likely be furious, and you're gonna think that this is one more betrayal, but I don't care, because I did it, and I know that you're gonna...
Kelly, save yourself the confession. I already know what you did, and I completely understand.
Still snowing. Apparently the snowplows have been out all night.
Are you telling me that our car's not only stuck on the side of the road, it's probably buried as well?
All right, wait. The manager has a snowplow in front of his pickup truck. He probably uses it to clear the parking lot. He'll help us get back on the road again.
Well, fine, there. Things are looking up.
Yeah, except that the highway is officially closed to everything except emergency vehicles.
Mel, we are still a ways from Canton. There's no way we're going to make it there on the back roads.
All right. We'll risk the summons and take the highway. I don't trust Charlotte Stonecliffe, and I don't want Dorian alone with her a minute longer than she has to be.
If we get pulled over by the police, we'll just flash our press cards and tell them we're covering the emergency.
Cass, as far as I'm concerned, this is an emergency.
Everything in its place? Dorian. I'm glad to see you up and alert and ready to face the day. Are you? And that you had a good sleep. You certainly needed it. You were so exhausted after that long trip. I was tired. But that wasn't the reason that I slept so soundly. What do you mean? That nice glass of warm milk you gave me. What did you put in it? Another accusation, Dorian? I'm a trained physician. I know I was drugged to the point of hallucination. Hallucination? Mm-hmm. When I came downstairs, I was having an out-of-body experience. And then when I went back upstairs to bed, I had a waking dream. A woman standing in my room, flowing nightgown, candle in her hand. Wild gray hair, please. But at the time, it terrified me. You're right. I gave you sedative. And what was it? Nothing illegal. The doctor prescribed it to help me get through some of my long, dark nights. How dare you give it to me without telling me? You were on edge and exhausted. You needed a good night's sleep. And you thought you would slip me a sedative without telling me? I know you, Dorian. You would have fought me if I suggested you take a sleeping pill. I am not a child in your care anymore. I'm a grown-up, okay? I'll decide for myself what's best for me. And are you ready for some breakfast?
I'm ready for some answers to my questions.
Not on an empty stomach.
Got another surprise? Ready for my orange juice?
Dorian Kramer!
I'm sorry. I know that you adored my mother. You respected my father. You took the best care you possibly could of me and Addie and Melinda. But the two people that I love most in this world have shown me forged death certificates with my parents' names on them. Nobody could have arranged for that except you, so please don't talk to me about clerical errors. Let's start with question number 1. Why?
What are you doing? Why aren't we leaving here?
The manager says he needs 10 more minutes to complete the paperwork. Oh, man, this coffee is awful.
Oh, you're not kidding. Well, Mel, all I keep thinking about is if Mother is at the farm in Canton, that she can handle Miss Stonecliffe on her own, at least for a little while.
I'm banking on Dorian's capacity for self-preservation.
And we don't have any real reason to assume that Miss Stonecliffe is going to hurt Mother. I mean, Mother has been paying those bills for years, and they've got to be friends on some bizarre level, so... I just keep going back to my grandparents' unexplained deaths.
All right. Me too. To hell with this. Give me the bags. I'm going to try and light a fire under my new best friend, the manager.
Thank you.
And before I do, check things out with Blair and Kelly before we go.
I'm just amazed in how your mind works. Ian is the one that told me that you tipped Todd off to our plan to lure the Sun staffers away.
Ian told you.
Of course.
Well, do you know why I did what I did? And why I would do it again? I wasn't helping Todd. I was trying to protect Ian from your sick manipulation.
Well, you know, I was a little confused at first. It never would occur to me to demonstrate how much I love a man by undermining his business deal as much as Ian wanted the Sun. But then again, I just had to realize that I'm not you.
Well, you got that right.
And then I began to understand how difficult it is for you to grasp a certain reality. I mean, despite your European boarding school education, you don't have my sophistication or my business sense, and then you must really resent the fact that I'm just so much more prepared to deal with the real world.
Well, reality, according to Blair, is hardly the real world.
And so, scrappy little fighter that you are, when you found yourself overwhelmed in a big league competition, you grasp at anything. I mean, no matter how pathetic, like a baby in a temper tantrum.
Well, I'm sorry. You're the pathetic one. I don't think you'll ever understand love.
Kelly, I'm really sorry but I do understand love, and I understand jealousy, too, and I'm just sorry that you don't deal with it better. Kelly, you have to admit that you played it badly as far as Ian is concerned. No? Oh, well, I really don't mean to insult you, but wasn't what you did just a little bit dumb? Oh, excuse me. Hello?
Blair, it's me. I can't talk long. Mel and I got snowed in last night, but we're on our way to Canton right now. Have you heard from Mother?
Not a word.
Do you have my cell phone number in case she calls? Otherwise, I'll call you.
Yeah, I do, and thank you for the update.
You'll fill Kelly in?
Yeah, I will. In fact, she's right here. We're having a little heart-to-heart.
Blair, it's important that we all stick together right now.
I couldn't agree with you more, Cassie.
Fine. I'll call you when I have news.
Okay. You be careful. Bye. Well, that was Cassie. She and Mel were snowed in last night, but they're on their way to Canton.
Well, did she say anything else?
Yes, she did. She said it was very important for us to stick together right now, and I couldn't agree with her more. Because I think the more that we find out in Canton, the more we're going to learn about our family's madness and misery.
Blair, that's what I've been trying to say for months. We can stop it before it affects another generation of Kramers.
Kelly, I'm afraid the pattern has already begun to repeat itself.
No. We can stop it, Blair.
If you're strong enough.
What do you mean?
Addie tried to hurt Dorian. Dorian tried to hurt Melinda, and I think you need to take a look at your attempt to hurt me and maneuver Ian. Kelly, I think it's time that you get the psychiatric help that you need.
Well, I guess it's too bad I'm not on medication. Then you could switch my pills for sugar.
Kelly, you tried to hurt me on the road in the car, and you did. And you tried to hurt me with Star's custody battle, and you did. And now, this with Ian? Kelly, what is going to be next?
Blair, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing, and I'm warning you.
Kramer pattern.
Stop it! I know what you're doing. You're trying to twist everything that I've said and pretend this is about my mental health. But it's not. There's nothing wrong with me.
Should we ask the Department of Motor Vehicles?
You're the one that plotted with Max behind Ian's back. You were only helping him steal the son so you can set him up because you couldn't win him on your own. But you knew how much he wanted that paper, so you used that deal to snare him.
Oh, yeah? And what did you do, Kelly? You went to Todd and you destroyed the whole thing when the sane choice would have been to go to Ian, discuss it in a very honest, healthy way. But no, what did you do? In an impulsive, very destructive act, you went to Todd and you told him.
And don't preach to me about impulsive acts. Didn't you lose custody of your daughter that way?
Right. And I know all too well your capacity to lose control and destroy whatever's in your way. Kelly, honestly, you need to look at this.
You don't even know the definition of honesty. I heard every single word that you said to Max about your plan to seduce Ian, and I am sick of it.
Poor Kelly.
Don't give me your condescending bull!
Kelly, there is no way that you could interpret what you thought you overheard me say because you don't have the capacity for business. Or you don't understand how a strong, ambitious businesswoman uses her talent. But Ian does. He understands it, and he accepts it and appreciates it.
Well, let me tell you something. From now on, Ian will see you for exactly who you are.
Exactly. And he will respect me all the more because Ian and I are exactly alike. We know what we want, and we know how to get it.
You don't fool me, and you won't fool Ian.
Don't worry, Kelly. I'll put in a good word to Ian for you, okay? Maybe he won't judge you too harshly. Oops. That must be, you know, Ming, she's always forgetting her keys. Maybe we should have Dorian have a talk with her when she gets back. Why, Ian, please come in. Kelly and I were just talking. I think she's really upset on what she did. Maybe you can console her. I gotta run. Thank you, Ian. Bye.
Well, all things considered, Blair is being incredibly magnanimous about this entire incident.
Why can't you see what she's doing? How can you buy into this?
Hey, kiddo. I miss you.
Been around.
Physically, maybe. You know, darling, sometimes when two people share their grief, it helps to diminish the pain.
You're probably right. But I can't.
I know you have to do this your own way, like everything else in your life. But, I'm always here.
I know.
So what's going on?
Well, I had a deal fall through, but I'm not giving up.
If the door's locked, try the window.
Exactly.
Sit down. Now, what in the hell is wrong with you, boy? Writing an article like that about Dr. Doherty.
When the president of Landview University has an affair with the woman who is embezzling the university's funds, that is news.
Allegedly. Don't they teach you anything?
Yes, but that's legal semantics. I have witnesses, photographs, a paper trail.
Doc is a good man and an old friend.
Yes, and you have thrown a lot of good money at him in the university over the years.
That is beside the point.
Where do you think that money is?
It's not Doc's fault. If he was involved with some conniving, money-grabbing female.
Whose is it?
These things should be settled quietly. There was no need for you to go public and humiliate him, destroy his career. Hell, it could happen to any one of us, even me.
It has, 8 or 9 times.
You show some respect, boy.
I am.
If I were Dr. Doherty, I would sue the hell out of you and your damn newspaper.
I think I should try to quiet the raging bull.
Oh, please, please, don't bother on my account. I'm finding this floor show quite fascinating.
But I'm not sure that my patron will be quite so generous. Excuse me.
Not only fascinating, but downright inspiring.
You were always irritable when you were hungry. At least have a cup of coffee.
No, thank you. I don't want another one of your soothing beverages. What I want is an explanation about those death certificates.
I can appreciate that. Unfortunately, I don't have one.
Miss Stonecliffe, that isn't good enough.
After the accident, I went to Bracken County. I identified the bodies. I was given the death certificates. I brought your parents back home. I gave the certificates to the undertaker, Mr. Hart. I arranged for the burial.
I've already heard that. And it still doesn't explain why the death certificates on file in Bracken bear the names of 2 total strangers.
What do you want to do, exhume the bodies? Go ahead. That will satisfy you and your family and Mr. Hayes.
That would be a bit extreme.
I don't know what else to suggest. Unless you decide to trust me.
It doesn't add up, okay? It just doesn't. Not any of it. Don't you understand?
I understand you are letting the others manipulate you into a very dangerous emotional place.
When you would prefer to manipulate me yourself? What really happened?
As I tried to make you understand when you were a child, and as I've tried to reinforce over the years, you don't want to know the answer to that question. Your parents were killed in an accident.
That's not what you implied last night.
Leave it alone, Dorian.
Miss Stonecliffe, was I responsible for my father's death?
Dorian, why do you insist on playing this masochistic game? You know you were responsible for it all. Are you satisfied now? Is that what you want to hear?
Okay, how was I responsible? Was I responsible because I told Papa how Mama was involved in Melinda's accident? Was I responsible for what happened to my parents because I realized on some child level how much my mother hated her daughters? That's a lie. She resisted us pathologically. She manipulated us so that we would hurt each other. Only an evil child would spread those lies about her mother. Reason why Melinda and Addie have spent most of their lives in and out of
mental institutions. I will not listen to that talk about her. Not in this house. You never understood her. She was an artist. Artists exist on a different plane. They're held to different accountings. Her mother was brilliant. And she needed special care because she was so sensitive. My mother wasn't sensitive. My mother was insane. Quiet! You evil child! Never! Never! You listen to me. Never, ever tell me to be silent in this house again.
You were a fool to write that damn story, Kevin.
Asa, do you think you could keep it at a minimum?
And your folks were fools to print the damn thing.
Asa...
Renee, it's okay. I know the only reason he invited me to lunch today was so that he could yell at me.
Finally, you got something right.
So don't deny him.
I just am concerned about my other patrons.
Well, tell them all to mind their own damn business.
My parents and I stand behind that story. If Doherty wants to go ahead and sue the Banner, let him. The facts remain.
Let me tell you something, boy. You think you have all the answers. If Doc sues, the legal fees will really hurt the Banner. Whichever one of you wins the damn judgment, it will become a technicality.
Do you think I could take your order now, Asa?
Forget about it.
We have your favorite ribs today.
It's the thought of poor Doc Doherty being played for a fool by that thieving filly. I lost my appetite. Oh, you tell your old man. I am disgusted with him.
Thanks for lunch. Next time, it's on me, though.
Oh, no, darling. For you, it's free.
Thank you.
Kev.
Hey, Max.
Couldn't help it over here.
Yeah, you and the rest of the restaurant.
What's up with Asa?
Righteous indignation over his pal, Doc Doherty.
Oh, I saw the article.
So did Asa. I think he's identifying a little too closely with Dr. Doherty, you know? Sucker for a pretty woman with her eye on his bank account.
Witness his last 2 marriages.
I know you're friends with Blair.
Oh, yeah. Say no more.
And I think he's still a little, burned about Alex taking off with his $30 million along with Carlo Hesser.
Well, that would have to hurt.
Yeah.
So, do you think Doherty's going to sue?
No, I doubt it. The story is true. Mm-hmm. And, well, a libel suit wouldn't get very far, no matter what my grandfather thinks.
And if it weren't true?
That'd be a different story. But the Banner wouldn't print it unless we had lots of documentation.
Of course not. Unlike your competition.
Todd. Yes. Well, he'd print anything, and then he'd worry about it later. Well, if I can't enjoy my grandfather buying me a lunch, I think I'll, head back to the office. Hey, Max. How are you doing?
I've been better. But I've got an idea that just might change my life.
Ian, Blair was pretending to be nice to me.
To what possible end?
To look good in your eyes, which apparently seems to be working. She is a pit viper, okay? As soon as your back is turned, she tries to find another way just to be outrageous to me all over again. You don't know her.
I know she's more forgiving than I was prepared to be.
Well, God, I wish you would forgive me. Look, I'm so sorry I compared you to Guy.
Well, I appreciate the apology.
You still angry?
Well, I know that you were at least partially manipulated by Todd into spilling my plan.
Well, who told you that?
Todd, in his own bizarre, indirect sort of way.
Oh, just when you think you know someone.
Exactly. I mean, I came here from the perspective that you thought you were protecting me by blowing the whistle on Blair's scheme.
Yes. Thank you.
And now I don't think that's true.
Of course it is. Why would you say that?
This wasn't about you helping me. This was about your jealousy with Blair.
Ian, that's...
I know, and your unreasonable response to Blair's very generous attitude proves it.
Wait, I'm not being unreasonable. Ian, she was horrible to me right up until the moment that you walked in this door. That is her game.
No, that is your paranoia.
It's not paranoia if that's what she's really doing. She accused me of being jealous, vindictive, and irrational, and too naive to understand anything about business.
And what part of that isn't true?
I'm a lucky man.
The Wedding, ABC, February.
Why can't you see this for what it is?
Why can't you?
Part of what Blair said was true, okay? Going to Todd's was an impulsive act because I was jealous, okay, of Blair's scheme to try to snare you.
So why blow up at her for her calling you?
Because she tried to turn everything around and make it sound like I'm the one that's crazy.
As opposed to paranoid.
Let's just drop this, okay? Please. Let's try to move on, okay? Pretend it didn't happen.
I'm not the one who won't let go of the bone.
It's dropped.
I hope so. Because I've learned something from all of this. Blair can be very useful to me.
What's that supposed to mean?
I fully expect that Blair and I will have a productive, ongoing business relationship.
Are you completely out of your mind?
You are a genius.
What was it this time?
It took every bit of self-control that I had not to hit that little twit on the head with a coffee pot. I even managed not to call her a little twit to her face.
Ah, regarding my advice about Kelly.
Mm-hmm. I was so compassionate, so understanding that Kelly went straight up the wall. By the time Ian got there, it was perfect.
Ian walked in on this?
Oh, yeah, the timing was absolutely perfect. Better than if I had planned it myself. Ian was furious. Kelly is doomed, let me tell you.
Hubba hubba.
So, my darling genius, what's the next move? How are you gonna, we're gonna bankrupt Todd so Ian can step in and buy the sign?
Well, for the second time today, your timing is perfect. You're gonna love this one.
Well, good. I'm really, really starving. I should order me some lunch.
It's not much salad. You know, I once read that sharks just spend their entire days eating.
Spill it. What is it?
Well, this little plan will not only deliver you husband number 3, Mrs. Armitage.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
It should also deliver a swift kick in the pants to husbands 1 and 2.
You silenced me every day of my childhood in this house. Me, and Addie, and Melinda. Shh. Don't disturb your mama. Shh. You're going to chase your mama's teacher away. Shh. You're going to destroy your mama's music. Well, mama is gone. And I will not be silenced in this house anymore!
You always were a spoiled brat.
Brat? Maybe. Spoiled. Starved. Yes. Starved. That would be more like it. We all grew up afraid of the sound of our own voices. Terrified that if we expressed ourselves, we would destroy someone we loved. Melinda and Addie were so petrified they completely lost themselves. And as a result, their daughters grew up abandoned, neglected, damaged, and now they compete with each other for every little scrap of love there is to be found out there. The same way that we did. And my daughter, my darling little baby girl. She's had one disastrous marriage after another in her own misguided search for love. She's even come to question her own stability.
I had nothing to do with it.
You had everything to do with it. Everything. You see, my daughter grew up lost because I gave her away when she was a baby.
That was your choice, Story.
Yes. Yes, it was. I will never forgive myself for what I did to her. But it was the lessons that I learned in this house, the deep, dark impulses that so frightened me that I felt I had no choice.
Dorian, you can't blame all the problems in your family on your mother's sensitive nature and on my attempt to protect her.
That is exactly where it all started.
Obviously, you will never understand the special person your mother was. And that's a shame. But it's your loss. And whatever it is in your behavior or that of the rest of them that you're trying to excuse or justify, it will not be found in this house. And I suggest just stop looking.
You protected my mother her entire life. And you're still doing it, aren't you? Or are you protecting Papa? No. So, who else does that leave? Yourself, Miss Stonecliffe?
When will you understand? The one I'm protecting is you.
I like this, but come on, Max. I thought you kind of, liked Asa deep down.
Oh, this isn't going to hurt him. Not too bad anyway. He'll kick and he'll scream. We'll take it out on Todd's hide, but I'm sure it won't hurt as much as the $30 million Alex took him for.
I think this is brilliant. Use Asa to burn Todd. Max, we're just so damn good together.
No, you should have been here earlier.
What happened?
Oh. Asa.
What?
Almost blew a gasket at Kevin for that little story about the Doc Doherty scandal.
That's where you got the idea.
If Asa reacted like that when the subject was a friend, you can just imagine the possibilities when he's the one that's on the front page of the Sun, and the scandal is not true, and it makes him look like a fool.
Oh, yeah. Well, I tell you what, though, you make sure that my fingerprints aren't on it, because I am taking Todd's threats very seriously.
Absolutely understood.
All right.
This little scandal will only feature Asa, not a hint of you or me.
Thank God. So, how do we plan on doing this?
Not a clue. Yes, but I will. I'm working on it as we speak.
Well, I tell you what, you need to work fast before Kelly has a chance to turn in against me.
How can you seriously be considering a business relationship with Blair, who has plotted with your enemy, Max, to get her hands on your money?
I know what Blair did, and Blair knows that I know that. But she always been completely above board with her intentions regarding me and my money. But she is also a very clever and effective businesswoman who may be the only person who can give me exactly what I want.
Yeah, and to help herself in the process.
Business is full of strong women, and they all have agendas. That is the nature of business. I have an agenda, you have an agenda, and we see how we can use each other. Are you going to react this way every single time I deal with one of them?
It's Blair, yes. Because you are refusing to see what she's capable of.
I can handle Blair. Do you think I'm some sort of moron?
Look, she is going after you, Ian, and she won't stop until she gets you.
How can she get me when you already have me? For God's sake, Kelly, I love you.
You what?
I do. I love you. Is that so hard to believe?
Yes, it is.
Oh, I am no good at this relationship thing. You know that perfectly well, and you really aren't doing anything to help me.
Well, you don't get
by walking away.
Who's there?
Mel Hayes and Cassie Carpenter.
What are they doing here? Nobody knew I was coming here to see you. These are the two people you love most in the world? Yes. What are they doing here? Then protect what you love. Protect them and protect yourself. Be silent. Live to regret it.
What do you want?
We've come a long way. It's pretty cold out here. May we come in?
I have nothing to say to you.
Please, Miss Stonecliffe, is my mother here?
I'm sorry. I can't help you. You're not welcome in this house.
Go away, both of you.
Stay tuned for scenes from the next One Life to Live.